Oh, welcome. All right. Good evening. Good evening. While you are joining, let us listen to the voice of reason. Let us first of all listen to the voice of reason.
All of you never knew that IPOB and this Biafra movement was for your liberation. Some of you saw maybe the oil and gas from Biafra land. If they go now, we'll have access to oil and gas. In the process of having your eyes fixated on oil and gas, your forest is gone. Do you understand it? Every Yoruba person supporting Fulani, you are setting up yourself to become like the Hausa people. Remember when Hausa was supporting Fulani? We are Hausa Fulani, we are Hausa Fulani. Where are the Hausa people today? I ask you. Where are those Hausa people today? Do you see them anymore? You know, saying we are Hausa Fulani, we are Hausa Fulani. Do you see them again today? Do you see them? I'm asking you. No, because Fulani have completely overwhelmed them. It's called emasculation. Completely emasculated them. Look at what they're doing in the East. In the East, they come to the East, I will tell you, oh, you want to be the president or vice? Yeah. They say, give us land for Ruga. They give them land. I saw this Okabi did that law Panther. They are taking it over in forever and ever. Give us land in your state. Go Pusadema prove to us that you are stood. Give us land in Olu. Go Pusadema give them land in Olu. We can go and kill people in Obibo. We can kill for them. How many Fulani governors are prepared to kill bandits? I didn't say Mamo people. I'm talking about armed, dangerous bandits. How many Fulani governors? Go and read your newspapers, you will see it there. Fulani governors are negotiating with them, giving them arms, giving them vehicles, making sure that their life is no longer in misery. But see, they come down to the south. They tell you, give us land for Ruga. Go and kill your people to prove to us that you want Nigeria. That was why Obioso was talking rubbish. Was saying yesterday or 2 days ago. Supported by the BBC. The problem you people have in Nigeria is this. Your journalists, you see people, Punch newspaper, Tribune, Vanguard, and Nation, they are your second worst enemies. I'm telling you the truth. They can never ever be objective in their reportage. Never ever ever. That's why all of you are suffering. But you don't know it. They were the same people used to scuttle the NSAS protest. Of course, some of you went about looking for Indomie in warehouses. Typical black people. Any revolution that is coming now, you must stand very firm. They'll say, oh, you're Igbo. Oh, you're Yoruba. Oh, you're from Urobo. Don't join them. It's our turn in 2023. If you do this, you will scuttle our chances of becoming the president in 2023. Ask yourself, all of them that have been president from time immemorial, what benefit has it brought to you as a human being? Absolutely nothing. So you have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. You look at them now, how they have now descended on Yoruba people, asking them to concede, give us your forest, we must graze, we must do this, we must do that. And slowly, before your eyes, they are giving in, they are capitulating, they are allowing them to go, if you don't give it to us, if you want to know what your life is going to become in the future, look at Hausa people. If you want to understand, appreciate, I will say, the life that you are about to bequeath to your children and grandchildren, look at Hausa people. Is there any Hausa governor today? Is there any Hausa emir? Is there land though? Katsina is Hausa land. Kanu is Hausa land. Sokoto is Hausa land. The Hausa people own it, indigenous to those areas. I'm asking you this question. Is there any Hausa man who's an emir in the north? The answer is no. Something is going to happen to you. If you don't rise up now to break, I'm not even asking people to break this rule. Demand for what rightfully belongs to you, your freedom. The freedom to decide. The freedom to write a constitution if you prefer. The freedom to live with whoever you want to live with. That is what we are asking for. But most people misunderstood what we are saying. And today, almost everything we have said about the zoo has come to pass. Everything we have told you, everything I told you has come to pass, hasn't it? Everything. And some people are still questioning and arguing. They said, Fulani will resist by all means necessary, including armed resistance, any attempt to forcefully eject them from the forest. Yoruba, you must ask yourself this question. When we were pursuing them from Ebony, why didn't they say something about ESN on Nandekano? Why? Have you asked yourself that question? Because they know we are prepared to die to defend our land. They understand that very well. That is the only language the Fulani understand. You cannot say to Fulani, oh, let us have a...
All right, very quick one. Good evening and welcome. Wherever you're joining from, welcome to this program. The reason why this is just like a, 15 minutes broadcast, because I have another program. So, of course, we can see the title of this broadcast as the Nigerians are calling for protest. The Igbos are there, even if Facebook does not want to give us, bring people in. It is okay. We will, find other ways to share these thoughts. So it is important for us to understand that the movement for self-determination and the secession of Biafra and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's has been agitating and advocating for the benefit or in the benefit of everybody. Not only in the benefit of the Igbos or Biafrans at large, but for the sake of everybody, including ordinary Fulani who is on the ground. It has never been about the Igbos. It has never been about Biafra. But because many people who has been out there castigating what he is doing, many people who has been out there, bringing deception about Nnamdi Kanu, many people who has been out there lying to their people who does not have access to information that Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. Nnamdi Kanu is this. Nnamdi Kanu is that. Those people are the same people today calling for Igbos to come out also to join their plan for protest against the Yoruba presidency. It is going to be an Igbo person who does not have sense that is going to rise up to join such protests. The reason why I am saying it this way is that when there was NSAS, just recent one, I don't want to go to 1966, when there was a coup, that the coup plotters consist of a Delta person, the coup consists of a Yoruba person, the coup consists of, different ethnic groups, including, Hausa person. And at the end of the day, it was called an Igbo coup. At the end of the day, it was called an Igbo coup. Now you come to 2020 NSAS. At the end of the day, it was called Igbo protest. That the Igbos are domineering the Yoruba land. The Igbos want to take over everything. So this time around, the Yoruba man is in power. We were protesting against the Fulani man. We were everything that the Igbo man was doing to bring everybody to a better deal, to give a better deal to everyone who found themselves in this neo-colonial enclave called Nigeria. It was to bring you a better deal. But you looked at politicians who lie to you on a daily basis, and you believe that they are the best choice for you. Because whenever they speak lies. They have never spoken anything that is the truth. The same lie they speak from the inception of their campaign to the time you are going to, back them up to take the position of rulership by force. And when they take the position of rulership by force, they continue to oppress you. They continue to define you. They continue to defile you. And you do not have anything to say because you don't know what to do. The reason why you did not know what to do all this while in the last 6 decades, it is because you lack information. It is because you have been, positioned in a way that people will be praising your failure to understand that everything that is in that country belongs to you. That you do not have the knowledge to understand that whatever right that the president or governor or anybody is actually using to rule over you, that right, you gave it to him. You didn't know. And all this while, the system that has kept you in the dark and made you to be like a zombie that zombified everybody in Nigeria, the system could not allow you to hear the real gospel of true emancipation, the real gospel that will help you to be free from this mental slavery that you have found yourself into. The system did not allow you. Now, Nnamdi Kanu took it upon himself in order to call for the disintegration of such system that does not allow you to spend time with your children, that does not allow you to actually reap the benefit of your grown-up children, because they will be running helter-skelter abroad. You will see them maybe once in a year. 1 month of every 12 months. It's maybe when you see them. If you see them, maybe sometimes you don't even see them in 20 years. Sometimes you don't even see them until you're unalive. And they don't even come to your funeral. That is exactly how it has become ever since. Nnamdi Kanu came up with a solution that will solve all this problem once and for all. What happened? All of you decided that you will turn against him. All of you decided that you are going to turn against him. That pushed the government of the day, the most corrupt government of Buhari, to go out there and undermine the international law and treaties. And they kidnap him and extraordinary rendition him to Nigeria. All of you, many of you were clapping for him. Today, you are calling the igbos, where this man who has been protesting and calling for a better deal for everyone by the calling for the disintegration of this contraption created by the neo-colonialism, or that is actually being promoted by neo-colonialism and controlled by British and European hegemony. He called for disintegration of such system that fosters inequality, that fosters oppression, that fosters lack of leadership or governance. Many of you stood up and you hated him. You called him all sorts of names. And today you want to go out there to protest. Are you serious? Now, any Igbo person or any Biafran person who will rise up to protest against a Yoruba president because of poverty, but you did not rise up to protest against a Fulani president because of poverty. And all this while, even when the Fulani president was not in the office, sick for many months, not in the country, still ruling the country from the sick bed, Osibanjo was zombified. You didn't protest because that is where you're supposed to start, because everything you are feeling today started from that time. Now you want to start protesting against the Yoruba president. Tomorrow they will say, it is the Igbos. They are the ones leading this protest against Tinubu. No. Igbo people are wise now. We are wise now. Your problem is not about protesting. The only thing an Igbo man is interested in. It is disintegration of the European hegemony called Nigeria that is holding people back from economic transformation and freedom to decide where they want to be or who they want to vote for. That is the only thing Igbo people should be interested in. Revolution. Not protest against hunger. After protesting, maybe they will go and take loan from IMF just to service your hunger problem. And remember, the relationship that African countries share with IMF is symbiotic. You don't benefit anything. Your leaders are the only people who are benefiting. And IMF knows about it. But IMF, I'm going to do actually a documentary about it. And IMF is the one benefiting. In fact, IMF are well aware, the IMF is well aware that the people that found themselves in the position of leadership are uninformed crooks. Therefore, they take advantage of this, their uninformed. Being uninformed, they take advantage of them. They dish out money, funds for them, knowing that they are going to embezzle the fund, knowing that they don't even know how to make use of the fund, and this not only dishing out these funds to them, the next thing they do is that they create a policy that is going to be one-sided, that is not going to benefit those recipient countries. And the leaders are well aware that this loan they are taking is going to cripple the country. But because it is a fiat money, they have to print fiat money and embezzle it. They don't have a choice. It doesn't affect them. They have properties abroad in dollars. Facebook is attacking this program, but it doesn't matter. They have properties abroad. They have their money in dollars or in crypto. It doesn't affect them. When they take all this money, they change it. IMF influence in your own economy is growing. IMF will now dictate for you the policies that you have to make in order, if you are going to be in their good list, you have to implement such policies that will bring hunger and starvation to your people. It is symbiotic relationship that you've been having, every African countries have with IMF, because IMF only are looking for profiteering your country, and not actually thinking about the ordinary people on the ground. Therefore, anybody you place in the position of leadership, as long as the structure of Nigeria is still the way it is, that person will never excel. It does not matter whom that person is. If you still believe that this Nigeria you see is going to work, you are delusional. That is the reason why anybody who is rising up to say they are protesting for hunger, for hardship in Nigeria, that person is delusional as well, because protesting for hunger and hardship is not going to help you. You need to have a reason for protest. You need to have a reason to go out there in the street. You need to have an agenda. As long as you do not have an agenda, you guys are fooling yourself. That's what you people want to do. You want to bring Igbos out with a salt, and you will now call the rain to rain upon them. It will not happen no more. Igbo people are wise now. The only thing that will liberate you from this European hegemony called Nigeria is revolution. Revolution. That's the only thing that is going to help you. This, let's protest for hunger. Hunger is our problem. You protest today. Remember, they took was it $800 million to give you food incentive, to give you, to share money. How many of you received it? Where is that money? You heard in the Senate House where they were sharing money. After that, they were sharing money. putting money in their post box so that they will go and enjoy their vacation. You heard that, right? So, those are the things that is going to continue happening to you until you understand that Nnamdi Kanu is not your problem. That the problem you have is the system that continue to put Nigeria as a nation when opposite is the case. The system that continue to create a symbiotic relationship between your leader and the nation, because the leader benefits. It's like a parasite. They are being used as a foot soldiers to impoverish you. Most of the time they are not aware. Even though they are aware, they are benefiting, so it does not matter to them. So no matter what you are going to try to do, you cannot change that process if we cannot disintegrate Nigeria and decide what we are going to do with it. Did you hear me? I did not say I did not say no, let's give us Biafra now. It's not what I said. I said you will never get it right if Nigeria is not disintegrated for you to decide what you are going to do with it. Because when I say give us Biafra, then it means it's one-sided, right? But what I am telling you right now is the disintegration of the system. Maybe it will be the language or the phrase that you may understand further that will enable you to know that it is not about Biafra living. It's about, the system that is actually created to continue to indoctrinate you, to continue to bring hate, to continue to bring, all this ethnic, ethnic hate, ethnicity, tribal, hate and prejudices. That is the system. And if you are intelligent enough, of which I know that it is few people in Nigeria that are intelligent, if you are part of those category of these people who are intelligent, you are not going to protest for the system to remain. You are going to protest for the system to be disintegrated. That is the only solution that is going to help you solve this conundrum that you have found yourself dealing with. You are crying for food. Because that's why I always say, you always try to learn how to navigate the 1 cup of rice. You always try to find a way to navigate the problem of 1 cup of garri. Penta garri, 2,000 or 20,000 or whatever, or bag of garri or bag of rice, 100,000. It does not matter. If you bring angel of God from the heaven and place them there in that system, they will not excel. Therefore, when we call for disintegration of this particular status quo, don't see it because we hate Fulani. Do not see it because we hate Yoruba. Do not see it because we hate Hausa or we don't want to coexist with them. It is not about that. It is about those who are benefiting from this system, and this system they are benefiting from is destroying the life of the majority in the population. Because they are benefiting as politicians, they do not want you to taste the light, to see the light. Because whenever they are moving, you are chanting after them because you are celebrating your looters. That's one thing that is problem in Nigeria. Celebrating your looters, those who destroy the destiny of your children before they were even born. You are chanting for them, you are praising them because they are moving in a vehicle that you cannot afford, or any member of your family put together can never afford. If they want to insult you to the highest order, they will start throwing money on air for you. But some of you will see it as a blessing. because you are indoctrinated one way or the other through your education, through Christianity, through Islam, through whatever superstition you have in your head. They have indoctrinated you. That's why it is time for us to, come together and see this problem that Biafra saw in 1967. See this issue that Biafra died for in 1967. All of you put together, join hands against the Biafrans, especially the Igbos. You eliminated them. Even wanted to wipe them off from existence because they saw this problem that you are crying for now, calling Igbos to come and protest with you. When these Igbos were protesting against the system, you joined force together, you unalive Igbos. Today you are calling for Igbos to come and protest with you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should look at yourselves in the mirror and be ashamed of yourself. The only thing that is going to save you and your unborn generation in that contraption called Nigeria, it is only for you to disintegrate the system. Tinubu as a president will never want it to happen under his watch because he is benefiting from the system. I do not hate Tinubu. I do not even hate Buhari. I do not hate Fulani. I do not hate Yoruba. I do not hate anybody. But what I hate is the system and those who are supporting the system because they are benefiting from the system. And those who are being used, especially the Fulanis, who stand as a beacon, a bridge between, the prosperity of the people and the growth of Britain. They are the people who bring these austerity measures that does not allow the people to see the light because they have been in control of this system for a very long time, giving these people who control the system whatever they want. That is the reason why always you see me talking about the Fulanis. It's not because I hate them, but I hate their mindset. Their mindset is sickening. They are always being used as a foot soldiers to maintain the European hegemony in many countries where they are domiciled. Check in your history. That is the only reason why we call them out. They are crying today because it is not their ethnic, their ethnic group that is in the position of power. When Buhari was there, even when they know that Buhari is not in power, they continue to hide it. So, this malevolent that has been destroying the destiny of our, unborn generation before they even exist, the system enacted by Britain, the demonic force, the principalities and powers from these high places that has been limiting you from seeing the light is what you are going to target. You are not going to target your stomach because your stomach, if you solve it today, you will not solve insecurity because once you target the system, you are holistically fighting all these things at once. Disintegration of the system. It is not about Buhari. It is not about Tinubu. It is not about Yoruba people. It is not about Igbo people. It is not about Hausa people or Fulani people even. It is about disintegration of the system. That is the only solution that you have that can help you. Igbos have died for this cause. You are hungry today because you are feeling the heat. The policies you see that makes you hungry is not made by Tinubu. It is made by IMF. because Tinubu is not in charge. He is just there to rule over you, while IMF is there to make economic policies, because they are presumed to own the money that is running the country. Do you get that? They are presumed to be owning the money that runs the country that Tinubu is ruling over. So have you now seen your problem? And the leaders will never tell you because their pocket will be full before they come down. It does not matter to them. And nobody will call them to account. Just like you see, if Tinubu is not, if Tinubu is not a thief, if I may put it this way, if he is not a thief, just like Buhari did, Buhari and Attorney General Malami supposed to be behind bars today. But for you to see, it is about people recycling, wickedness, looting. They continue to recycle it. Each and every regime that goes in, they enrich themselves, they come out. Nobody is going to call them to account for all this, all these loans that they have acquired from these financial institutions. What did they use it for? Why is the country overly indebted? And nothing is done. They will not call them because the system does not allow them to call them. The system is not a human being that is from Nigeria. The system is a policies that is made out of European hegemony. The system is a policy that is made from international monetary institutions. Those are the system. The system that is created by Britain, pre-independent. It is the same system. The system that force everyone to be together by force, not by plan, or not by agreement, or arrangement, or contract. By force, because the system must need human resources. They need to be draining energy from you on a daily basis so that they will keep it running. You cannot, there is nobody who has been in position of that leadership in the past 6 decades that have ever made decision by themselves. It is only the international organization, especially the financial institution, that is going to be making these decisions for them. And that decision comes in a symbiotic relationship where it is only people who are going to be on you. Parasite is an example of symbiosis. A mosquito parasite. They suck on you. They will continue to drain your blood. But the people who let them in, because their blood is not being drained, they don't mind. Selfishness. So Tinubu is not in charge. The people in charge of your economy is IMF because they bring policies. What you saw happening in Kenya happened in Kenya. It was because of the same thing. But protest, then all of a sudden everything go back. That is exactly what you want to do, right? After doing it, they will find another way. They will find another way to make sure they bring it back. Where you are not conscious, because you did protest, what for? If you do not have a plan in going into protest and have an agenda to achieve during this protest, you are playing games with yourselves. Igbos are not going to join all this stupid protest because it is not going to fetch you anything. As long as you are still believing in this contraption called Nigeria, do your damn protest alone. It is senseless. It is senseless because before you want to redefine yourself, you need to reject your old self. You need to reject your old self if you want to redefine yourself. If you want to bring yourself to a better attitude, you must reject the altitude where you are in order to climb, in order to transcend. Something needs to die for something to grow. Something needs to, if you plant a seed in the ground, the seed dies before it will germinate. So what is holding us Africans down is that we do not want that to plant that seed to die before it will grow. We want it to grow before it, not even to die. We don't want to pay sacrifice. We want to start from where they left off, which is building on a wrong foundation that was established, by the colonizers. This foundation you are building on was established by colonizers, and you want to continue to build on it. They establish it because they know it will never enable you to thrive. That is the reason why you don't think I am insulting the leaders of Africa when I say that they are uninformed. They are indeed uninformed. Except if it is not uninformed, that is wickedness. If I can't call them uninformed, I call them wicked people. They are the devil. Because they know what is going on, but they continue to play games with the lives of millions and believing that it is their right. That's why when you protest, they will unalive you. They will shoot you and shoot to kill. Not even shoot to harm, shoot to kill. That's what they do to you. 40 died in Kenya because of hunger, hardship. Not even revolution, 40 died. Think about it. Think about it. The system is what we are up against, the principalities, the principle that is coming out of the system is what you are up against. Those who are affiliated with Christianity will understand what I am talking about. The principalities and powers is the system that I am talking about that you need to destroy in order to erect a new system that is known and is compatible by you before you will foster growth and equality. Failing to do so, you will continue to bequeath your children and your children's children a life in infamy. You will continue to bequeath your children and your children's children a life in infamy. Think about it. Today, Tinubu is talking about GMO, genetic modified organism, to bring into Nigeria so that you will start eating non-organic food when you have farmlands where you can plant your food and stop depending on anybody to give you food, because they will give you food that will destroy your lifespan. You find fruits now, they do not have seeds anymore, because how are you going to plant the next season? How you do your farming system is that when you harvest your farm produce, you keep some seedlings, you keep some of them to use to plant for the next season. But today, you harvest your farm produce, there will be no seeds, there will be nothing to plant next year. Therefore, you will find a time that will come when organic seed is going to be expensive more than food itself. Organic seeds. That's the plan, because they will store the organic. They will be selling to you microorganism, organic modified organism. They will be selling it to you. Therefore, when you harvest it, there will be no seeds to plant next season, and your land will only be compatible to that GMO. Even if you manage to get organic food, it will never do well in that land because it changes the pattern of the land. It changes the pattern of the land or the nutrient of the land. At the end of the day, you are being led by uninformed people. People who cannot see things for what it is. They see it because it's a trend. Just because in the United States, farmers were given money probably to consider GMOs, then your president, because he wants to be like people in the United States, because people in the United States, anything they can't get right, it can never be be made right because they are God. That's why they gave you Jesus Christ with blue eyes, so that you will be seeing people who rule with blue eyes, who have blue eyes leaders, as that decision they make is superior to every other decision, is the best to every other decision. It is time for you to rethink about your life and the life you are going to bequeath your children before you go out there to claim, hey, Igbos must join us, we are going to protest 1 penta garri, I go up tear my breast, I go tear my nyash, make I protest. You are fooling yourselves. That is a fallacy. You are fooling yourselves. You need to see it for what it is. Disintegration or nothing. A revolution now. That's the only way. That is the only way. There is a documentary I am putting together. Then people will understand the relationship you share with international organizations such as IMF. But this is where I am going to leave it now. I don't want to be talking too much anymore, because those who have ears, they will hear, or they will even hear from the previous ones that we have spoken, coming here, wasting my time, my data, sitting in the light for like 2 hours, talking the same thing. At the end of the day, I cannot even sleep. Many people will ask me, why were you always like to wear dark glasses? Because at the end, you cannot sleep. You cannot sleep because the light will be in your eyes the whole night. It will be like a curse. All doing it to inform people whom their brain is no longer with them. Or people who will even dislike you for trying to do something that will give them information that doesn't even appreciate. It's not worth it. Those who have ears, let them hear. If you don't have ears, continue to wallow in your ignorance. And secondly, those who think that it's politics that is going to give them freedom, you are delusional. You are delusional. Anything politics, African politics, is not European politics. African politics is making European politics smooth and great. Without African politics, European politics will not be as green as it is, or European economy will not be as green as it is. But because of what the games you are playing amongst yourselves in Africa, that's what makes here great and green. And at the end of the day, you don't realize it. You believe, oh, we are going to get a God that will come from sky and rule over us. Everything will be good. No, we are going to wait for another 4 years. No, another 4 years is going to be better. You are fooling yourselves. Politics in Africa will never give you freedom. Those who say you should go to the House of Assembly, and those who say you are going to read your constitution, all these things are people who are actually trying to undermine your intelligence, because they know you don't have one. That's why they believe they will tell you, go to parliament and discuss your problem. Nonsense. Nonsense. It is for their selfish benefit, not for anything. Their selfish benefit, that's why they want you to go to parliament. That's why, because they believe you will send them to represent you so that they will still loot the money the same way the other politicians are looting. That's the only thing anybody who tells you about politics that will give you freedom in Africa, in Nigeria. Dude, do you have brain? Are you okay? Those are the things you need to ask those individuals. Or I will call them, they are really uninformed. They are uninformed. They don't know what is politics like in Africa. That's why they believe that you engaging into political rubbish will help you. It will never. Because who controls your politics is the same people who created the system that is destroying you from within. It is the same people who promote ethnic, who promote tribal, problems amongst us. It is the same people who knows that this tribe and this tribe, they are not compatible. They put them together under one umbrella, call them a nation. They are the same people who rule your politics. They are the same people who make decisions. And they know that you being together as one in the contraption called Nigeria will continue to promote their agenda, because you will continue to fight each other while they are benefiting. Before you will even come together to understand your problem, it is already late. Your land is being excavated. Your everything. One day you will start having earthquake for big people digging gold, people digging for uranium, people digging for lithium. You will start having earthquake. By the time you will realize they're already saturated. You might find a country at war aiding you, giving you an aid, even when they are at war. Isn't that an insult? Isn't that an evidence or a proven fact that you do not have anything to offer? Because you believe that miracle will happen. Miracle does not exist. Even in Jesus' perspective, it was not a miracle. He did what he needed to do within science to heal those whom he healed. It was not a miracle. Miracle does not exist. Talk more of now that you have become so stupid and adamant that God even gave distance himself and turn his back on you. You think he will give you a miracle. Keep dreaming. You will dream until you find yourself in grave. Until we meet again. Think. Because emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Nobody else. It is you that can do it for yourselves. If you're still waiting for igbos, you say igbos are landlocked and they are small in number. So take your big numbers, go and protest for what you want, because igbos are not interested in that contraption called Nigeria again. And they have paid the price. You have united in one consent against the Igbos to make sure you eliminate them and make sure their name is no longer in remembrance. 1967 to 1970. The same Igbos, you want them to join you in protest. Igbos that are domineering, if they come to protest, you will say that they are dominating the protest. Is it the same Igbos? You people have not started. You don't want to help yourselves. You do not want to help yourselves. Igbos will join the protest if it is a protest that is going to be beneficial. But the way your title is not beneficial. It is not going to be beneficial to anyone. Hunger. 1 cup of garri. 1 cup of garri. You want to act like Kenyans. Kenyans protested. 40 people unalive. Process of policies dropped. And then what? Tomorrow another person will create a new policy. You go out there and protest. You guys should stop fooling yourselves. Dude, let's meet again. Bye for now.